Facing the consequences, PG&E is taking the heat for statewide triggered blackouts. California's utility regulator issuing a series of sanctions for what it calls, quote, failures in execution during the power outages. The state's governor is urging the company to give refunds to customers. Here to talk about it is radio talk show host Larry Elder. Larry, there is so much blame in this situation to go around. I mean, if you look at, you have the power monopoly that has a grid that has way too much of a load on it. The brush hasn't been cleared back. You have the government monopoly who isn't serving the interests of Californians, worrying about all of these things: power, electricity, brush. And then you have, you know, this time of year, I grew up in Southern California, I would say the smell of Halloween was fire. Because there were always, that's when the winds kick in, like this is the time of year. What do you think? I mean, who's to blame here in this chaos?
Right, and we left out the fact that PG&E right now is in bankruptcy, and as a result of $30 billion of liability stemming from fires in 2017, 2018, plus in California it has the strictest liability laws of any utility in the country. Basically, if your equipment is deemed to have caused damage, you are 100% liable, even if you weren't negligent. So it's a hell of a business to be in, and what PG&E tried to do is to do some planned outages in hopes that these winds would not knock down power lines, would not set fires. Now, it turns out the winds weren't as bad as people thought, and so a lot of customers are angry. There were 800,000 customers who lost power. That translates into 3 million people, and nobody is happy.
No, and $100 or $250 isn't going to help at all. But tell me, from your point of view out there, so who's responsible for the grid not being built out the way it should? And for the brush, you know, they're saying PG&E hasn't cleared the brush they're supposed to. I know when I grew up there, you got a mailer of how much you had to clean the brush around your house. It was your responsibility. You got a ticket if you didn't do it.
That's right.
So I don't know. Are they being stopped from doing this work? Do they not have the money, or is it not? What's the deal?
Well, there's a fight between the timber industry and the environmentalists, and the environmentalists have often won. And as a result, fallen trees have not been thinned the way they used to be. It's no longer economical to do that. And much of this land, by the way, is owned by the federal government, and the state has no control over it. So there's a lot of blame to go around. But even Governor Gavin Newsom last year admitted that fallen trees were not being thinned the way they used to as a result of fees and regulations that make it uneconomic to do so.
Yeah. No, this is classic. This is like the negative externality of people think they're saving the planet. Instead, they're going to end up with no power and burning everything down. Larry Elder, thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
More time. Good stuff. Thank you.